Sorry, I'm feeding my face. But I was sitting here thinking, and it seems like, I don't know, it seems like I think through things better when I talk them out, if that makes any sense. And I was sitting here thinking about like some stuff that's just been really heavy on my mind. I'm going to play a scenario. So have you ever experienced a situation where you observed that from jump you was never respected like everyone else? You was never given the level of respect that you should have been given from day one, or that you haven't been considered as valuable as everyone else when no one has more skills than anyone else? Or have you ever been paid or treated less than what you deserve, and there's no real explanation for it? Does that make sense? Maybe if there was an explanation, like inexperience or whatever, but it was almost like the decision was made before you were even given a chance to prove yourself. Does that make sense? And maybe it's because of my thinking and the way I have worked on my confidence and my self-worth. I don't know, but I know what I'm good at. I know how hardworking I am. I know how determined I am. But at the same time, I can smell bullshit a mile away. So the worst feeling in the world is knowing you're being shitted on. That is the worst. And the old me would have just been like, fuck this. Like, who's got time for this? That's what the old me would have done. And so that's why I've been sitting here trying to think of ways that I could handle this situation differently. But to me, like, real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that's going to change the truth. So either the person you're dealing with is going to accept the truth, admit the truth, and address it, or they're not. And 9 times out of 10, something that I've noticed is the people who you come across who are in the wrong, who deserve who owe you an apology, who shouldn't have done something that they did, or what not. Those people never, ever do what it is that they should do. They never hit an epiphany where they're like, oh my God, like, I treat you like shit. What is wrong with me? They're not just going to hit this wall and then they're just going to magically wake up and realize all the things that they've been doing. They're doing those things because they, in their mind, somehow are rationalizing why it's okay. So if you sit and spend the energy trying to get this person to admit their fault, or trying to get this person to recognize where you're coming from, for the longest, I thought that made sense. Like, I'm explaining to you how I feel. I'm telling you why it's wrong, and I'm showing you what you could have did differently. To me, I for the longest, that's what I would do. And I would end up so furious, so frustrated, so annoyed, because when I would walk away from the conversation, nothing was accomplished. Even though I might see it, they don't. And I just keep hitting this wall, and it's just frustrating. Like, why don't they get it? Why don't they get it? And my negativity level increases. All because of the frustration that I built up just by trying to get this person to recognize something that they're not ready to recognize. You're going to come across people that you can help, and you should help them. But you have to recognize the people that aren't worth the energy. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean some people aren't ready. They're not ready to accept the truth. They're not ready to face whatever it is that you're trying to get them to see. They're not ready to face it. They're not ready to deal with it. They're not ready to handle it. So you wasting energy trying to get them to where you are is pointless. And unfortunately, I'm guilty. I didn't realize what I was doing for so long. And it hit me like a ton of bricks when I was watching that video. Like, it's a waste of energy. And you got to be able to recognize who's a waste of energy and who you should put time and energy into. Does that make sense? You got to be able to recognize that and be like, okay, I'm wasting my breath. You have a good day. I'll see you later. That's how you handle people like that. Does that make sense? And I've always been one of those people, when I've been wronged, I feel like I have to state it. Like, I have to let it be known what you did. You're going to see what it is that you did, and I'm not going to let it go. You know what I mean? I've always been one of those people. And now I'm starting to realize that I don't need you to admit. I don't need you to recognize. I don't need you to agree. I don't need you to see what it is that you're doing or that is bothering me. I don't need you to see that for me to be able to move past it. I don't need that. I don't need to. As long as I move past it, I reject your negativity. I send you love. Those are my little tips that I gave y'all. I personally picture myself sending that person love. Then I immediately remove myself from that negativity. And I don't even think about it anymore. Like, I can't help you. I can't get you to see what it is that I'm trying to see. So the best thing for me to do is just to keep it moving and let my actions show you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm really battling with this, and this is something that I'm really having a hard time with, but because I don't want to sit and dwell, but at the same time, I know my worth. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes we're faced with that. We're faced with causing a shitstorm or standing behind what you know you deserve. Does that make sense? And I hate being faced with that situation because, one, I'm not trying to cause no issues, no drama with nobody, but at the same time, I'm not going to short my worth for anyone, ever. A job, a man, nothing. I'm not going to short myself just because you don't recognize what I'm worth. I'm not going to do that. And I feel like this is, honestly, I think I just answered my own question. I feel like after I forgive this person, like I said, you don't have to personally walk up to that person and be like, I forgive you. No, do it in your head. Forgive them. You know how many people, a couple people, one person, we're going to keep it all the way real, that I have held so much anger towards for years. I mean, years. Just anger, resentment. I have every right. That person hurt me. Ooh, did they hurt me? However, I never forgave them. They don't really know that, but I never forgave them. And I held on to that anger because I felt like I had every right. You did this to me. I have every right to be angry with you. I have every right. But what I don't realize is me holding on to that anger hurts me. It don't hurt them. They Gucci. They ain't worried about me. But me holding on to that anger is keeping me from reaching the positivity that I need, right? It's holding me back, whether you realize it or not. Picture somebody literally just grabbing onto your shirt and not letting you move forward. That's what that anger does to you, okay? So me releasing that anger or me forgiving that person is not for them. It's nothing to do with them. It's for me, so that I can move forward, so that I can leave that baggage, that negativity. I can release any of that anger for me and my peace of mind, my sanity. And like I said, I've been doing this for the past couple weeks, but I went back and it took a minute. At first, I was like, I don't want to forgive this person. Like, forgive them for what? They hurt me, and I still, you know what I'm saying? I'm still hurt. So why would I want to forgive this person? Why would I want to send them love? Like, I'm angry with them. I'm mad at them. I'm disgusted by them. So why would I want to do that? Well, I forced myself to do it anyway. I said a prayer. I was like, God, please give me compassion. Help me be able to release this because it's going to help me. You know what I'm saying? And I did. I said a long prayer. It took a couple days. I'm not even going to stunt. But I did. I forced myself to send this person love visually. I pictured that person like across the room, and I pictured myself, and then I like say it was like throwing a frisbee. I know I sound silly, but say I was sending something to them. That's how I genuinely envisioned myself sending this person something, and that something was love, positivity, good energy, whatever you want to call it. I had to physically picture myself doing it, and that action immediately, the minute you start to think, here's something positive, or I'm going to give this person love, or I'm going to give this person compassion, or I'm going to forgive this person. As soon as you do that, you immediately remove yourself from that negative realm and place yourself into a positive space. You might not get it, you might not see it, but you can feel it. Does that make sense? Try it. And I think that's where this next step comes into play. That's why I was sitting here thinking, like, how do I handle this? I think I just answered my own question. I need to reject any negativity that's trying to happen. Say you're trying to get your point across and this person wants to keep arguing with you. Shut it down. Shut it down completely. Okay? Shut the conversation down in a pleasant way. Thank you for your opinion, but I can tell this conversation is not really establishing anything, so you have a good day. Immediately drop it. You're wasting your breath. Okay? Then send that person love. Okay? Physically picture it. Pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to your energy. Pay attention to your vibe. So many people go through life and they don't realize that they are energy, that we are all moving energy through time. That is what we are. So sometimes we don't even recognize the energy that we're giving off. We don't recognize the energy that we feel. We're so used to feeling this negative stress weighted down, oh my God, that we don't even realize how it feels to release that. Does that make sense? So third, like I said, I think what I need to do is, now that I have sent that person love, I've realized that the conversation can't be had and it's not going to establish anything. So then my only other option is to leave it up to God. Pray to him, explain to him what it is that you're dealing with, and ask him to work it out and move on. Because sitting here dwelling and focusing on it, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. So knowing your worth is crucial. I'm not saying go around acting like, you're the best thing since sliced bread. No. But you should love you unconditionally. You should know that you are great. You should know that you are fierce and unstoppable. You should genuinely believe that. And if you don't, I'm going to need you to work on it. I don't care if you got to wake up every day and look in the mirror and say, I am whatever. But it takes work to, one, recognize your worth or truly love yourself. If that's something you haven't been doing, it takes work. So like I said, no. You don't have to be like nothing's good enough for me, nothing deserves me. No, you don't have to be like that, but at the same time, don't put up with bullshit if you know you deserve better. Does that make sense? Have enough strength to recognize when you're being screwed or shorted. Have enough strength to walk away from that, or to address it, or to, whatever. But you gotta have enough strength to say, you know what, I recognize that this is not what I deserve. Does that make sense? But if you don't truly know your worth, or you don't truly recognize your worth, then you're never gonna hit a place in your life where you're like, okay, that's unacceptable. I deserve better than that. You know what I mean? Like, you're never gonna get there if you don't truly realize what it is that you deserve. And as I was sitting here, I was just getting more and more frustrated with the whole, situation. Hold on. As I was sitting here, I was just getting more and more frustrated the more I sat and thought about the whole scenario. And I realized that's taking away from my energy. And I can't really afford for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving something energy that doesn't even deserve it. When really I can figure out the best way to either address it or let it go. But sitting and focusing on it, that's just pulling my vibe down. That's not establishing anything. That's not getting anything accomplished. And like I said, if you realize that bringing up this issue with someone, or telling your man how this makes you mad or whatnot, and they're not getting it, it's just going over their head, or it's just creating a non-stop fight, you're just hitting a brick wall, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Recognize that this person is not willing to accept what it is that I'm trying to say. They're not going to hear me. They're not getting it. They're not going to admit that they're in the wrong. So me sitting here trying to get them to get to that point, that's wasting my energy. And they're never going to reach that point. So I just need to say what it is that I need to say, release it, and then move forward. Does that make sense? But I wouldn't waste my time sitting and dwelling on it, or trying to convince this person to get it. And I think that's where I'm at, is I'm noticing that they are not getting what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And I have every right. I'm right. I know I'm right. But they're not going to get it. They're not just going to admit that they're wrong. They're not going to get it. And so I've been hitting this brick wall trying to figure out, like, what do I need to say for them to understand? Like, this is frustrating, and I'm just going to have to forgive this person, right? And then leave it up to God. I mean, for real, because there's nothing that I can do. I can remove myself from the situation and hope that it's in the best, but me sitting and arguing about it, that's not going to fix nothing. So I think that's when you have to just say a prayer and just leave it up to God. Let him work it out, and know that he's going to work it out. Does that make sense? Because there's just some things that aren't worth the energy. And like I said, once you realize that every person that you cross paths with is not going to agree with you, every person that wrongs you is not going to admit it. Once you realize that, you will stop wasting energy on people that it's just a waste of breath. You know what I mean? For example, I came across this self-development video. Helped me so much. Like, I got so much from this self-development video. So I'm like, what's the good thing to do? I'm gonna share it, right? I'm gonna share it with people that I care about, people that might be able to benefit from it. A couple of those people didn't even bother taking the time to look at what I had sent them. before they even looked at it, they had already made their mind up that they didn't need what it was. They didn't need help with whatever it was that I was sending them. And to me, that was sad because first off, we all need help. First off. Second, if somebody cares about you and they try and send you something to help them, the least you can do is hear it out because you never know, you might need that help. You know what I mean? But we can't be so prideful that we go through life like, oh, I don't need help on this, I don't need to work on that. We all need to work on something. And the sooner you figure it out, the better your life's gonna end up being. You know what I'm saying? But I had to recognize, okay, this person is not ready for change. This person is not ready to change their life. And I had to move on. I had to stop trying to convince them, you need change, you need change. It was a waste of breath. It's a waste of energy. And I think that's something we have to be mindful of, is where we place our energy. Stop placing your energy into people that aren't going to flip it and bring that positive energy back to you. Stop wasting your energy on people that aren't deserving. Some things you just have to let go and move the hell on. You know, I can't even see if this is still recording. That's how dead my phone is. Oh, it is. I couldn't see. I didn't know if I was standing outside talking to myself or not. But anywho, like I said, when I talk through things, I seem to get my answer. So I hope if there's anybody that's dealing with, you know, a person or a scenario that they just feel wronged, they feel like they know they're being wronged and they're just not getting anywhere, the person's not seeing it, just remember that they don't need to. And you don't need to waste your energy trying to get them to. Recognize it, move on, or accept it, and then leave it up to God. Okay? I gotta get my charger out of the I gotta get my charger out of the trunk, but I love every last one of y'all. If there's a video on here that you like, please click like and please subscribe because I'm constantly sharing videos, especially on my Facebook. But yeah, I love y'all. And if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. How do I stop it? How do you stop it?